Hi guys, welcome to the Cambridge Way. It's Lori, and today I've got a video for you in Wellington. They hear me talking and they come running. Hi buddy, you want to say hi to the people? This is Wellington. Say hi buddy. Oh, let's get your belly. And Alex is laying over here. He will, oh, don't spill my coffee. I got some coffee today. This is French vanilla. And then in a little bit, I'm going to make a Dalgona coffee and watch Phantom of the Opera while I knit. Here, let me move that behind. Okay, so I've got some things to show you and some things we can talk about. Mostly, I'm just kind of getting everything organized here. Mostly what I thought we would do is go over my plans for Stitch Mania. Where is my... Here it is. For Stitch Mania. Oh, hi, buddy. Or not plans, as it will be. So just a little backstory. I'm multi-craftual. I love to do all kinds of crafting. Knitting, crochet, needlework all of a sudden now. Who knew stitching was going to be a thing, or counter cross stitch was going to be a thing for me? But I love to do all the things. And so I thought in May, instead of Maynia, I'm going to do Craft Mania. So I'm going to start I have a few things started. I'm going to see how many of these I can finish in the month of May. Right? Right, buddy? Now, couple of things I won't finish. Excuse me, I know that, but I'll get a good start on it. So let's kind of go through a few things and then I will talk about it. First of all, I went through my stash and found some fabric, but look at this. Is that not so fun? It's like a mustardy color. I'm going to make a project bag out of this. I have a yard of it. So I just wanted to show you that. Hi. All right, so let's look at stitching. I have actually made fair progress on my Suffrage Act. My Little House Needle Arts. Everybody knows Suffrage Act. This weekend, I finished my suffragette. I got her done, and somehow I'm off a couple stitches lower. It's fine. The line comes here, and then it will continue. I need to do the bunting, and then I have a pot full of flowers, I think, to do, and then the words. So yeah, I made some good progress on her. I even ironed it for ya. I know, right? So that's mostly what I worked on stitch-wise, but I will show you literally all of my whips in like 30 seconds flat. Okay, buddy. And then the other thing I have, which I just keep in this bag, I've got two things going. This is a little dimensions kit. It's going to be a snowflake. Haven't really gone far on that. And then I started, I think this is Beth Twist. It is. Heartstring Sampler, Be Well and Stitch. Sorry, buddy. It's a free chart for the COVID time. And I started that, and I have almost a bird. Like almost a bird down here in the corner. So that's exciting. I need to put the beak on it. I'm not even sure what I'm working on now. Something green. I'm putting the leaves in at this point. So when I have a spare moment on the phones working, I work on that. And then this is just a bunch of floss that I'm using. I just pick a color as I go. And for the dimensions, it came with its own floss. This red, it's a pretty red. And that's what I have left of that. I did have to unpick a few things. Somehow I got off kilter, but I think I fixed that. And that's it for my stitching whips. I'm just pretty monogamous as far as I just don't like a lot of things going. I like to finish. Not everything before I start, but I like to finish. So a couple things on the go is fine with me. So that's it for my stitching. I know. Short video, huh? I'm kidding. So that's it for my stitching. I'm hoping to have this finished by the 1st of May. I'm going to then, I don't think I have it here with me, do I? I do not, but I'm going to start, and I actually ordered a Q-snap for it, the Kringles, the big Christmas house. I want to start that for my May start, May 1st. Because I just think that's exciting, and that's something, but I know I won't finish that in a month, and that's okay. And then I purchased my first reproduction sampler. This is Sarah Spencer 1870 by Hands Across the Sea. It's one of their little gems. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? And I feel like this is manageable for me, for my first sampler. And I'm doing it on a 32 count, and it's going to be 12 inches by 10 inches, so that's not too big, but it's so pretty. I'm super excited to start that. And so I did dye up some even weave. This is just stuff I got at Joann a while ago, and I dyed it. It's just their linen, 100% linen cross stitch fabric. So I cut off a piece that I needed size-wise, and I dyed it with some coffee and tea. I'm not sure if it's going to pick up the marbling in it, but I like this. It's a nice light fabric. And then I just sew and then zigzag, because I don't have a serger, my edge. So this piece of fabric is for Sarah Spencer. It said it calls for, let me look. It calls for 32 count at 18.31 by 16.81. So I cut it 19 by 7. Actually, I think it's, 19 by 17. So it'll be fine. And then what I did is, while I had it upstairs, let me find my spot. Okay, I decided what the front would be. This will be the front. And while I had it on my cutting board, my cutting mat, I marked with pencil, so it'll come off. That's a 3-inch or a 2-inch. I can't decide how much I need. It's measured for the 3-inch, so I probably will start there, but I always mark it on the back just in case. So like I said, that's a 2-inch margin, and that's a 3-inch margin all the way around. It will fit on my 11 by 17 Q-snap. We'll see if I love it. I may order like a secondary one for this, but this I'm not starting right away. But I did kit it up with DMC flosses, and I need to figure out one thing. But there's the DMC color palette, and I did get 2 of one color, 2 of that, because I felt like I might need more of it. But look at these colors, guys. Are these not pretty? And then with, here, let's do that. With that fabric, I think that's going to be really nice. Sulky. When I was looking at thread a while ago at Joann, they sell sulky thread. I'm wondering, is that the same cross stitch thread? I don't know. So we're going to find out. I'm going to ask around and figure it out. I'll keep this in here until I start my page in my book, and I can note what I purchased and how I did it. So that was just some coffee tea stain. Threw it in the dryer, ironed it. Easy peasy. And then this is definitely a May start as well. And this I got on Etsy from Cotton Pixels, I think. Yeah. Winter Cat. There you go. It's going to be an ornament. It's not big at all. I think it's in centimeters. It's 8 centimeters. Oh, it's 48 by 48 stitches. So that's nothing. And I just took a piece of that white 32 count, cut it off. I feel like one of these squares is going to be enough for the black cat. And this is just the white even weave. To do that on, here is the flosses that I put on, some floss drops that I'll need. There's two reds. I have to decide. I like a deeper red, so we'll see. But it actually calls for 4 shades of green, a black, and then this natural color. So I went ahead, and what I do on my floss drops is I put what kind of floss and the color. And I just write it on there. And then sometimes I'll go through and put the key, you know, what the key marking is once I get into the pattern. This calls for beads. So these are Mill Hill Petite Glass in the black. And I put them in this container just so it's easier for me to get to. But it also calls for just like one of a different color. So I grabbed a variety pack. These might be a little big, so we'll see when it comes time to stitching. But these are pretty small seed beads, but they're not as small as the black. But what they're used for are the decorations on the garland. And if you can see here, that's like a sequins and a bead. So it's like, it needs literally like 10 beads. So I think I can make it work with these seed beads. If not, I'll just get smaller. I also I got these at the Dollar Tree, but just some sequins. It calls for 1 gold sequin. I picked up some John James beading needles. These were at Joann. They were pretty reasonably priced. I'm sure I had a coupon. And it's a 4-pack, so I'll have to put those away. And then the only other floss it calls for is Krynic in the red and golds. And Christmas calls for some red Versoix, but I think I might just use this because I can't seem to find the gold. But when I look it up online, it looks just like this. So yeah, so I have that. Everything I need now. I didn't have my fabric until today when I dug it out and sewed around the edges, but I have everything I need to start. So I would like to do this in May if I can finish what my Be Well and Stitch and that ornament in the next 2 weeks, which I feel like I can. And then so what I will have done is 3 finishes for the 1st of May and 2 starts, which I think that's exciting. And then what I will probably do with Sarah Spencer is, if I haven't already, I will take it with me hopefully in September. I'm going to Stitch North in Canada, up in Toronto. Caroline with Off the Grid Needle Arts is putting together a retreat and I want to go. It's called Stitch North. I've already booked it. I'm in. I have a room, but obviously it's early, so we don't know. But these are some starts, and then I have over there my Kringles. I wanted to show you something else I coffee tea dyed. I've had this bag. It's a project bag for knitting, but I keep notions in it, and it's a Jane Austen quote. It says, "She taught me to knit, which has been a great amusement." And I love it, but I spilled something on it. I don't know what. Coffee, probably, because it wouldn't come out. So I just tea stained the whole thing. And now I'm happy again. See how easy life is when I start dyeing things? Because I'm going to town with the dyeing. There will be a video coming out next week. I bought some of the, it looks like chenille, but it's Bernat polyester fluffy yarn, and I'm dyeing it as we speak to see what colors I can get and what techniques. So I'm working on that video. Hi, buddy. Now, I've got a couple things else that we're going to be doing for my Craft Mania. Right? Oh, did I show you these? That's the yarn or the floss for Suffrage Act. I am obsessed with this blue, by the way. Anyway, I'll get that back in its hoop. Something else I started. It's a knitting project. And I am making an oldie but a goodie. Let me find the picture for you. It is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it is Woolly Wormhead, I think. Is it? No, it is Boho Knits. It is a sock head hat, and it takes up 1 skein of sock yarn, or 100 grams of sock yarn, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry. And so I started one that I think is going to be perfect for fall. Look at this. Now, I didn't use hand-dyed yarn. I am using Patent Croy sock yarn. Purchased at Joann. These are 50-gram balls, so I have 2 of them. And the content is 75% wool, 25 nylon. So it's the same content as like your artisan hand-dyed yarns. It's just not, it's commercial and it's a little rougher, but I love it. But look at those colors. And this is showing pretty true with the purples and the greens. I think this will be a fun fall hat. You cast on, I have on size 2 needles. And once I get 4 inches of this 2x2 ribbing, it's just knit forever. And then you start doing the crown decrease. But I love this hat. And this is so non-thought provoking. It's just knit, 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 knit. And sometimes I'm needing that in this stressful time. So I thought this is a good cast on that doesn't require too much thought. And they're pretty easy to make. And especially I love taking things like this if I'm running errands or whatever. Out and about. I got to weave in my end here, but I have that. And so what I did is I just balled these up. But when I get to the end, I pulled them both from the same end of the yarn and wrapped them up the same. So when I get to the end of this yarn, I may have to cut off a color or 2, but it should be in the same order of color for the hat. And then, you know, whatever I have left, I will put in my scrappy blanket. But I'm hoping, I want to make it really long and slouchy. And I think it'll look good for the fall. Because I have fall on my brain. I don't know why. But knitting has just become something I wanted to do. And this is a bag I made a while ago. The inside is white with some silver sparkle. And it's just some bat eyes. It's a fall Halloween. I have some ribbon with spider webs on it. I made these just to keep projects in. I like to have project bags for different things. Now the next thing and the other thing I started, which I will work on in May, it's called Plait Poncho by Aunt Ninny. And that's what the pattern is. I got this off of, at the time, it was Craftsy. I think now it's Blueprint. But I know it's on Ravelry too. I've seen it. It is a plaid poncho. And I've already knit this once. And those are real buttons, but they're fake. They don't unbutton. They're just little mushrooms. But look at that. Is that not so fun? Now, this was a kit my niece purchased for me off of the Blueprint. It was so reasonably priced. Now, this yarn is acrylic. Yeah, it's acrylic. It's cream and this rust orange and this gray. Oh, I love it. And this is a worsted weight, and it went pretty quickly. You knit up the 3 panels, and then you sew them together, and it makes a poncho. I love it. It's very warm. I wear it fairly regularly this fall. Last fall I wore it, but that's how it looks. This is your neck hole, and then you put your buttons. Now you don't have to sew this shut, but I did to make it a real poncho, and then I just sewed decorative buttons on that I got I think at Joann, but for the next one I'm going on to Etsy. But so that is what it looks like, and I need to keep this out for measurements, and I will show you why. I am making one out of, so that, like I said, was worsted weight yarn. This yarn, I'm all tangled up here, is DK weight. So it's a lighter weight yarn, and therefore I needed to add stitches, but look at this purple. This is Miss Babs Yowza Ball in the light worsted, which is DK. So this purple, I have Mad Tosh. And what color is that? Or is this Malabrigo? I think that's my Mad Tosh. The Miss Babs Yowza color. So this is what it is. That color is Succulite. It's a purple. And the Mad Tosh colorway is called Tosh Towel, TWL. I don't know if there is a color. Oh, AUA. I don't know. I bought this a while back, but it's a gray. And this is actually fingering weight yarn, so I'm holding it double. And I made 2 50-gram cakes of it. And when I'm ready to add that color, I will just hold it double. And then this other color is Malabrigo. This is Malabrigo. And the color is lettuce. And I also have 100 grams, and this is also fingering weight. So this is the colors I'm using. The purple will be the main body, and this gray and green will be the accent colors. And I used my ball winder so you can tell they're all different. Here, that's not as tight. So this is the colorway that I am using to make my Plaitation. And then I will show you what I have. And this will take a little while. I seriously have this thing. It's being stored since I'm not leaving the house in a basket. It just makes it easier with the pattern. So this is where my beginnings are. And it's going to be just a little longer or wider than the first one I made, but it's okay. I'll just hang a little longer. And please, let's look at my stitch mark, or at my row marker. It's a unicorn. I got that last summer. So if you know of any like Knit Picks or American Crafters is the company, they make fabric, they have yarn, and they're here in Columbus, and they ship for Knit Picks. It's their warehouse. They had a warehouse sale, and I went and they were giving these away. So, but anyway, this is the beginning of it. And the cool thing is, it's so easy. If you get the pattern, it's literally just stitching and purling. But if you can see here, these are on the stitch side are just purl rows. So there's 6 purl rows. The rest of it is just straight stitching. And then after, you go in and you weave your color, and that's how you're getting your vertical stripes. It takes a crochet hook and you just weave it in. But literally, this is how far I've gotten. Like tonight, I'm going to go watch Phantom of the Opera, and I'm going to work on this because it's just mindless knitting, where I have to count to do my cross stitch, and I want to watch Phantom. So this is my plan for May as well. So these are my, so far, the May, my May crafty Maynias. The one other thing that's going to happen in May that I'm kind of excited about, they got me. This Fat Quarter Shop got me. I was on there looking at cross stitch stuff, and I saw this fabric, Homegrown Holidays, Homegrown for the Holidays, Homegrown Holidays, Homegrown Holidays, I think it's called. It was a pre-order charm pack, so you get 42 5-inch squares, and it's like the red truck and buffalo check, and oh, just all country, like Christmas country. I was taken, loved it. So I pre-ordered 2 of the charm packs, and I'm going to learn to quilt. I'm going to make a blanket, like a throw blanket size. So I was talking to my coworker, because she's a quilter, and she's like, you can do this, but we have to practice first. So I did a curbside pickup. Well, I had this fabric, this white. I love white on white. I use it to line my project bags, but it's got a little, like a little leaf motif. So this is going to be the backing. I'm going to make a table runner with these colors. Lemon, the green, the yellow, and black, which will match my kitchen, which is yellow and black. So I grabbed a jelly roll because you just get what you can get, and I need to practice. And then I grabbed a spool of quilting cotton. This is Coats & Clark machine quilting. Just sew everything together, and I'm going to piece this, and I'm going to make a table runner for my dining room table in May. So that is my May Makes. May Makes is what I'm doing. What am I making? I'm going to be knitting, in cross stitching and quilting, apparently. Who knew I was a quilter? Because I didn't know that. These jelly rolls are 100% cotton. You get 5 designs, 4 of each. So the lemon, the green and lemon, the plaid, and then just the solid greens. And what I'm gonna make, I found a pattern, super easy, just sew the strips together. Like, I just need to learn technique here. Yeah, so I've been watching videos, and then I will just back it and make binding with this white. And there's a yard of it, which should be plenty to do a table runner. If I have any extra, I can make some placemat size for my coffee table or my end tables. I would probably leave this white rug out, but I may put something in that. I have not decorated for spring yet. I have not felt like it, but that's how I roll. Oops, let me put these away. I like to keep my labels with the stuff. So I think that's my plan for Maynia. Is it going to be craft Maynia? I'm going to do a little bit of a lot of things. Yeah, so I think that'll be fun to do, and I will bring you along with me. And then, like I said, I have that video coming out. It'll probably be next weekend, maybe later this week. I'm in the process of trying different types of dye on this fabric and different times. So I've already done the 2-hour soak. Now I'm doing the same colors overnight soak, and then I'm switching up my dye to a different dye. So yeah, we're gonna try to see if we can't do some fun things with dyeing polyester yarn. So I think it'll be fun. I need to get these 2 little things done, guys. Actually, I need to get them all done because I want them. Now, the Christmas ornaments, obviously, I'm in no rush, but I really want that black cat for Christmas. So I have all the things. I'm going to put everything away, and I kind of am excited for this project bag. I need to get some, or go through my stash first to see if I have any gray. I think I want to do a gray zip and a gray lining for this. I also have some other fabric coming to make a project bag that I ordered on the Fat Quarter Shop. I'm telling you, they're getting me every time. Some Christmas gnome fabric to make a bag to store some Christmas stuff projects in. Because I would like to move I like to leave them in here while they're kitted up because it protects them. But while I'm working on them, I would like to have project bags. And I don't need that many, but I want a Christmas one. So that is good. This is done. Everything is accounted for. So let's see in May how much progress we can make, right, on the different things. So what I'm definitely going to do at the beginning is a video for May 1st. I'll record on May 1st, whatever day that is. I'm not sure when it will go up, but it'll be a May 1st video, and I will show the progress and the starts on everything that we want to get done in May, right? I don't know if this will wait till May. I'm kind of wanting to get started, but I have other things I need to do too. Like, I'm painting my kitchen cabinets. I'm going a little crazy with the COVID quarantine here. I do live alone, so my cats and I, they just keep looking at me like, girl, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm painting my kitchen cabinets, but I ran out of paint, so I had to order the paint, and now it just came, so I can finish the cabinet doors. Because you needed to know that, right? No. All right, guys, we're at 30 minutes, so I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, put them down below, any comments, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.